NATO has unveiled its new strategic concept, outlining the alliance's guiding principles, purpose, and goals. The updated strategic concept was announced during the June 29-30 NATO summit in Madrid. The document, which was last updated in 2010, identifies Russia as the most significant and direct threat to NATO members, and lists China as a strategic challenge for the first time as well, citing Beijing's coercive policies. In response to these changing priorities, NATO has also announced changes in its force posture, including the expansion of its Rapid Reaction Force and new US deployments on Russia's borders. China's first ever mention as a strategic challenge also reflects NATO's new concern with Beijing's growing influence in Asia. The 2022 strategic concept highlights new cybersecurity, climate change, authoritarian governance, and other non-military threats as well, such as vulnerabilities and dependencies, with respect to critical infrastructure, supply chains, and health systems. NATO has lost its purpose after the collapse of the Soviet Union, but with the rise of China and Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it now has a clear enemy which has given it a new purpose. The G7 has announced Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment (PGII) to serve as the West's counter to China's Belt and Road Initiative. The PGII seeks to support infrastructure development in developing countries, strengthen the global economy, and improve supply chain security.
Collectively, we aim to mobilize nearly $600 billion from the G7 by 2027. These strategic investments are areas of critical to sustainable development and to our shared global stability. Health and health security, digital connectivity, gender equality and equity, climate and energy security. I want to be clear, this isn't aid or charity. It's an investment that will deliver returns for everyone, because when democracies demonstrate what we can do, all that we have to offer, I have no doubt that we'll win the competition every time.
Compared to the BRI, the PGII projects are smaller in scope and involve greater reliance on private investment. The G7 hopes to incorporate capital from additional partners, multilateral development banks, development finance institutions, and sovereign wealth funds. After weeks of holding up Finland and Sweden's entry into NATO, Turkey and the Nordic nations signed a trilateral memorandum for the two Nordic countries to join NATO, removing Ankara's block to the accession process. It comes after the leaders of the three nations spoke in a 3-hour meeting at the NATO summit in Madrid. I am pleased to announce that we now have an agreement that paves the way for Finland and Sweden to join NATO, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said in a news conference confirming the deal. Details of the deal have not been published, and it would seem they consist of principles and values rather than any firm commitments. Despite all the noise by Erdogan, it would seem Erdogan was using the event for domestic political considerations.